The vote against Earth. The grand hall of the Galactic Assembly was quiet. Bright lights floated above, and thousands of seats were filled with leaders from every known species. Tall ones with silver skin, small ones with long fingers. Some looked like stones, some like walking plants. But all were powerful. All were afraid of one planet. Earth. At the center of the hall stood the main speaker, a creature called Vorak. His skin was like smooth metal, and his eyes glowed blue. He looked at the empty seat meant for the human representative. Once again, Vorak said loudly, "Earth refuses to attend our meeting." Soft murmurs spread across the room. Some were angry. Others were afraid. "They ignore our rules," shouted a voice from the back. It was the ambassador of the Rican species. "They refuse our peace. They build weapons in silence." Another voice followed. "They are a death world race. They are not like us. They solve everything with war." Vurik raised a hand. "Enough, it is time. For years we tried peace. For years we waited, but Earth has chosen its own path. We must vote now. Do we force Earth into the alliance, or do we take control?" The screen above him lit up with one question. Do we enslave Earth? One by one, the leaders raised their hands or pressed the red crystal in front of them. Red meant yes. Red meant war. Red meant chains. Every species voted. All of them. The screen showed the final result. 100% in favor. The room was silent. Then cheers. Then loud voices. Then confidence. They will surrender quickly. The humans are too emotional. They will not resist long. They don't even know we voted. We will surprise them. But they were wrong. Far away, deep in Earth's orbit, a hidden satellite watched the Galactic Assembly in secret. It recorded every word, every vote, every smug smile. And then it sent one message back home. Underground on Earth, in a black bunker. With no name, alarms began to flash. A man with gray hair and sharp eyes walked into the command room. His name was Commander Real. He didn't speak. He didn't blink. The screen showed the vote. Red, red. He nodded once. "Wake them up," he said calmly. "Which team, sir?" asked an officer. "All of them." Across Earth, deep inside secret bases, lights turned on. Doors opened. People in black armor stepped out of freezing sleep pods. They didn't ask questions. They just moved. Each had a mark on their wrist. A small white symbol. DWR. These were not regular soldiers. They were trained for one thing only, to end wars. And now, the galaxy had chosen war. That night, something strange happened in space. 6 ships appeared near the edges of alien territory. They weren't big. They weren't even armed. But they moved too fast, faster than any alien ship had seen. And inside them was nothing but silence. No messages. No warnings. The ships just watched. And then Earth's real response came. Not through weapons. Not through an army. But through every communication screen across the galaxy. Human face appeared. Female. Calm. Dressed in simple black. Her eyes were cold. Her voice was soft. She spoke one sentence. "We saw your vote. We accept your challenge." Then the screen went black. Across the stars, planets froze. Leaders panicked. Military bases went on high alert. The same species who voted to enslave Earth now wondered, had they just made a mistake? They thought Earth was weak. They thought Earth was silent. But Earth wasn't silent. It was listening. And now it was awake. Asterisk. The first fire falls on the planet Yorel, far from Earth. The skies were clear. Their twin suns were rising slowly, casting golden light over the capital city. Soldiers marched. People laughed. The leaders were relaxed. They had voted just 2 days ago. Earth was now officially marked for control. Soon, their ships would arrive and take over the strange blue planet. They believed Earth would not resist. Believed wrong. At exactly noon, the sky turned dark, not because of clouds, but because something massive was blocking the sun. People looked up. It was not a battleship, that it was not even a fleet. It was a single object, huge, black and silent, shaped like a triangle, sharp as a blade. No sound, no warning. Just presence. Ural's military scrambled jets. Defense towers lit up, shields activated. But before a single shot could be fired, the object spoke. Not in words. In actions. A beam of white light hit the largest mountain near the capital. It didn't explode. It vanished. Gone. Turned into dust. In one blink. The leaders screamed. The defense commander shouted, "Fire! Fire now!" The planet launched 900 missiles at the triangle ship, but none of them reached it. Each one disappeared mid-air, vanished before impact. The triangle ship turned once, slowly, as if bored. Then it left, vanished into space. No attack on the city. No soldiers landed. Just a simple message from Earth. We saw your mountain as a weapon. It is no longer a threat. Back on Earth, Commander Reel watched the reports. Dozens of alien planets had gone silent. Some were sending messages begging for discussion. Others denied their votes. Some claimed they were tricked into it. Reel didn't care. He turned to a hologram on his table. It showed 6 more triangle ships, each heading toward different corners of the galaxy. They weren't warships. They were warnings. On the planet Selkar Prime, the High Leader was giving a speech about the peaceful takeover of Earth, when her screen cracked in front of her. The face of a human appeared. A man with dark eyes and no smile. "You voted for chains?" he said. "Now you will learn about ours." Suddenly, every power station on Selkar Prime failed. Lights died. Food machines stopped. Transport froze. Their planet, known for technology, returned to the Dark Ages in 1 second. They had not been attacked. They had been disconnected. Earth had used a virus, neon dust, something no species had seen before. It didn't destroy. It removed power. Quietly. The galaxy called Earth primitive. Now they realized Earth had moved past war. It had entered something far more dangerous: precision. Galactic. Assembly emergency meetings were called again and again. What is happening? Why didn't Earth send armies? They are playing a mind game. No, this is worse. They are showing us how weak we are without lifting a weapon. Panic spread like fire. One by one, species began to send messages to Earth. We wish to discuss peace. We never wanted slavery. It was just a mistake. We were misinformed. But Earth said nothing. Not a word. Just silence. In the darkness of deep space. In a ship so advanced it had no windows, Commander Reel finally smiled. "They wanted to enslave us," he said softly. "But now," he turned to the officer beside him, "they kneel before us instead." No war, just fear. In the days that followed, the galaxy felt different. The stars still burned. Planets still turned. But something had changed. Fear. It spread across every system. From rich empires to poor colonies, from warlords to scholars, everyone was watching the sky, waiting for Earth to strike again. But Earth DIDN single quotes T. There were no invasions. No fleets. No soldiers marching. Only silence. And that silence was louder than any weapon. On the planet Lendara, a meeting was held inside the council tower. The air was cold. Their leaders sat in golden chairs, eyes filled with fear. "We voted for slavery," one counselor whispered. "Now Earth watches us." "They're not attacking," said another. "That's what makes it worse." Reports had arrived from 5 different planets. Each planet had lost one major system power. Water, defense, or communications. No explosions. No warnings, only disappearances. One day you had control. The next, Earth took it. Some thought it was magic, but the truth was worse. Earth had grown in secret. Their science had gone far beyond anything the galaxy expected. While other species held meetings, Earth had prepared for war no one could see. And now, Earth didn't need to fire. They just needed to choose. On planet RVN-7, a school was teaching children about ancient battles. When the classroom screens blinked, a single word appeared: remember. And the screens shut off. The teachers panicked. There was no hacking. No virus. Only a signal that came and vanished too fast to trace. Message was clear. Earth remembered everything. Every insult. Every plan. Every vote. And Earth had not forgotten who voted first. Inside Earth's command base, deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Commander Reel walked along a long glass corridor. Screens showed alien leaders begging for communication. Should we respond? A general asked. No, Reel said. Not yet. He paused before a sealed door marked Project Nexus. Inside, glowing cores spun slowly, powering Earth's most secret weapon, not of destruction, but of control. This was Earth's true power. Knowledge that they had mapped every system, every weakness, every plan. And now they were turning the galaxy's own systems against it without firing a single shot. Meanwhile, in the outer reaches, a group of smugglers made a discovery. A Terran probe, crashed and buried on a moon. It wasn't big. It didn't look dangerous. But when they touched it, a screen turned on. It displayed the names of every planet that voted to enslave Earth. And next to each name was a countdown timer. Some had 30 days left. Some had only hours. The smugglers left everything and ran. They knew what it meant. Earth had made a list, and the galaxy was running out of time. Back in the Galactic Assembly, chaos had replaced order. All the proud voices were now filled with regret. How could this happen? Why didn't we wait? We pushed too hard. Some still tried to be brave. They won't attack. They're bluffing. But then, from the shadows, a voice spoke. A retired ambassador. Old. Forgotten. He stood with trembling hands. You all forgot one thing. He said softly. They are from a death world. And Deathworlders never bluff. Asterisk, the list begins. The first countdown ended on a quiet world called Veltir. It was a trade hub, full of markets, music, and calm skies. The people there believed Earth would never touch them. We only voted with the others, their leader had said. We didn't mean harm, but Earth's message was clear. Every vote counted. Now so will ours. At midnight, without a sound, every starship engine on Veltir shut down. Cargo ships, defense. Cruisers, even planetary transports dead. No lights. No backup. No escape. They were trapped on their own planet. Veltir's skies remained peaceful, but the panic began on the ground. No trade, no imports. No way to leave. And above them, high in orbit, floated a small Terran drone. It did nothing. Said nothing. Just ... Watched. The people below stared up at it, as if begging it to disappear. But it stayed, like a silent judge. The next countdown reached 0 on a mining world called Karath. Their crime? They had offered their military ships to help escort Earth's surrender before the vote even passed. At dawn, Karath's atmosphere turned dark, not because of an attack, but because Earth released a cloud of microsatellites, invisible, untouchable, and deadly to their machines. Karath's entire mining system, deep drills, power cores, rail lines turned off imperfect. Sync. Their economy collapsed in hours, but no lives were taken. Earth didn't want blood. They wanted memory. And Karath would never forget Inside Earth's war room, Commander Reel stood before a large screen. List of targets glowed red. Many planets had already sent desperate messages. Forgive us. We take back our vote. We were misled. But Earth remained silent. They're cracking, said General Holt beside him. Reel didn't smile. Not enough. He pressed a button. A new message was sent out, one single line, broadcast to every known species. 3 more names fall tomorrow. No names. No details. Just fear. And fear worked better than fire. On the Galactic News Network, panic was everywhere. Planets turned on each other. Accusations flew. You convinced us to vote. No, you did. Some tried to form a new defense force against Earth. It didn't last a day. The first planning station vanished. No wreckage. No signals. Just gone. That's when the galaxy realized the truth. Earth had been ready for this. They had seen it coming. And now Earth was no longer fighting for survival. They were teaching a lesson. On the 7th day after the vote, 3 planets awoke to find giant messages burned into their landscapes, visible only from orbit. They said, one by one, "Choice has power. You voted for chains. Now you wear silence." Even the strongest empires, ones that had never feared anyone, began to ask the same question. How do we make this stop? But Earth didn't answer, because this wasn't just about revenge. This was about memory. And Earth wanted them to remember. Not just today, not just this year, but for generations. Asterisk. The kneeling begins. On the planet Kirel, the once proud rulers gathered in their royal chamber. They wore golden robes and armor polished for ceremony. For centuries, they had ruled 3 systems. Now, they were on their knees. In front of them stood a glowing screen. It showed no face. Only a blinking symbol. Earth transmission inactive. They had sent 16 messages. Please, apologies, promises of peace. Earth didn't reply. We were wrong, their queen whispered. We thought humans were animals. We didn't see. This. No one spoke, because every planet had heard what happened on Keller 9. The entire moon had been turned into a mirror. Its entire rocky surface melted smooth by Earth's silent weapons. No lives taken. No damage to ships. Just a message written across the surface. You chose slavery. We choose memory. And now, even the strongest voices in the galaxy began to tremble. On the trade world Novera, alien merchants burned flags, tore down posters that once mocked Earth. Crowds filled the streets chanting words in English. Forgive us. Forgive us. Forgive us. A week ago, these same crowds had laughed when the vote passed. Now, their screens showed a live view from orbit one of Earth's long, dark ships quietly circling. It hadn't moved. It hadn't attacked, but it was there. And that was enough. People below wept, not knowing if today would be the day their sky would fall. Inside Earth's deep ocean command base, Commander Reel reviewed a message list. Over 100 worlds had now formally surrendered. Not in war, but in fear. They promised gifts, trade, obedience. But Earth didn't want their gold, didn't want their weapons, didn't want their lies. They're offering everything, said General Holt. Should we accept? Reel stared at the names on the screen. He tapped one name slowly. Vashta Prime. They voted first, he said. Let's see what kneeling really means. On Vashta Prime, the High Lord stood in front of a live broadcast. His hands were shaking. His voice broke. To the people of Earth, he said, we beg forgiveness. We see now that we judged wrong. We feared your strength. We tried to chain it. He took off his royal crest and dropped it on the floor. Our fleets are yours. Our data is yours. Our skies are open. Then, in front of billions watching, he fell to his knees, not for ceremony, But for survival dot, it was the first time. A major world had publicly knelt before Earth dot, and once it happened, others followed dot in just 2 days. Over 40 species sent surrender videos dot. Some begged, some cried, some offered planets. One even sent their own leader in a ship toward Earth, unarmed, as a gift of peace. Earth still said nothing, not a word, not a sound, just silence. And in that silence, the galaxy found something worse than war. Shame. They had tried to enslave Earth. Now they could barely look up at it, and the one question haunting them all was, would Earth ever forgive? Earth's final message. Galactic space had never been this quiet. No wars, no raids, no speeches. Every species waited. Some on their knees, some holding their breath, all watching the skies, wondering what Earth would do next. Weeks had passed since the vote, weeks of fear, silence, and surrender. And still Earth had not spoken, until now. A signal blinked into every screen in the galaxy. No one could block it. No one could trace it. It simply arrived, across starships, city centers, bunkers, and council halls. Every screen turned black, then white. Then a face appeared. Human, female, dressed in gray. Not a soldier, not a leader. Just calm. Still. Her voice was soft, but it carried across stars. This is Earth. You voted to enslave us. You united in fear. You tried to chain what you did not understand. But we did not come for revenge. We came to show you something more powerful than war. Choice. The screen shifted. It showed cities healed by Earth's technology. Forests regrown. Machines rebuilt without destruction. It showed enemies spared, not crushed. It showed restraint, not weakness. The human spoke again. You gave us one choice, kneel or be broken. We gave you another, remember or repeat. Then her eyes narrowed, not in hate. But in truth. We are from a death world. We were born in storms, fed by fire, and raised by challenge. You tried to enslave us. Now we offer you something else. Peace on Earth's terms. The screen cut to a new message. A treaty, short, simple. No race shall raise weapons. Toward Earth again. Any threat will be answered silently. All who remember this lesson will remain untouched. Those who forget will not get a second reminder. At the bottom, Earth had signed only 2 words. We remember. Across the galaxy, planets wept. Not from defeat, but from relief. Earth had spoken. And Earth had chosen not to destroy. But no one would ever forget what could have been. No one would ever vote against Earth again. Because now they understood humanity doesn't conquer. It teaches. And its lessons last forever. Asterisk.